This conference will now be recorded.
Stand. Our prayer will be done by Karsten Evinger, and our Pledge of Allegiance will be done by Faith Hurst. Faith? Is that first? Opening prayer? No, I did the prayer. I'm sorry. Prayers first. That's on me. Okay. Want to face the public? There you go.
Dear God, thank you for letting us be here today. Please bless the city workers and the people on the city commission. Please be with them as they make important choices for our city. We love you. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
Pledge of Allegiance, Faith.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay, if you guys will hang out for just a minute, I'll be down there. Okay, do we have any additions or deletions?
Mayor, we'd like to remove item number 1 from new business under resolution consideration.
Okay. Any additionals? Okay. We have a motion?
Move that we adopt the amended agenda.
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded that we adopt the amended agenda. Any further discussion by commission? All those in favor signify with aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries unanimously. Approval of the agenda.
I move that we approve the agenda.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve tonight's agenda. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify with aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We will now have proclamation by Braden Graham.
What a handsome puppy.
I just go.
Yes, sir.
Whereas the National Trust for Historical Preservation created Preservation Week in 1971 to spotlight grassroots preservation efforts in the United States, and it since has grown into an annual celebration observed by small towns and big cities, with events ranging from architectural and historical tours and award ceremonies to fundraising events, educational programs, and heritage travel opportunities. And whereas the National Trust in 2005 extended the celebration to an entire month and declared it Preservation Month to provide an even longer opportunity to celebrate the diverse and unique heritage of our country's cities and states, and to enable more Americans to become involved in the growing preservation movement. And whereas the National Historical Preservation Act has had a profound impact on Kansas and historic places listed on the Cali County State and National Registers contribute to the revelation and recognition of communities through heritage tourism and the preservation of historic places which honor the diverse cultural, agricultural, natural, and built environment of our state. And whereas the National Historic Preservation Act has had a profound impact on Kansas and historic places listed on the Cali County states, and national registers contribute to the revitalization. There we go. And recognition of communities through heritage, tourism, and the preservation of historical places which honor the diverse cultural, agricultural, natural, and built environments of our state. And whereas June is a very important month for our Etzanoa Conservancy, as ongoing archaeological
Excavation.
education, and training activities take place throughout this month as part as an Etzanoa field school offered in conjunction with Cali College and Wichita State University. And whereas Archaeology and Historic Preservation Month is a celebration of our city's historical heritage. Now therefore, the mayor of the city, Kansas City, Kansas, does hereby proclaim that June 2022 shall be commemorated as Archaeology and Historic Preservation Month in Kansas City, Kansas, and urges of residents to recognize the diverse and unique heritage of Kansas City, Kansas, Cali County, and the city and the state of Kansas with appropriate and suitable activities and celebrations.
Thank you so much.
Good job.
Good job. Thank you.
I have problems with those same words.
Excellent composure, sir.
Yeah, good job. That's his dog.
So my name is Rachel Gray. This is Ollie, my service dog. He goes with me. I'm a teacher for the vision impaired and blind here in Cali County. So I serve 27 students across all 5 towns or townships in Cali County. And I work with students from just low vision, which would be 20/70 or less, which I don't know how many of you know what that means, but what a person with normal vision can see at 70 feet, that person would be at 20 feet in order to see the same thing. There aren't very many that are that level. Most of them are legally blind, which is 2,200. And so I teach them how to grow up in school and do well in school despite their vision impairment, and give them the tools that they need to adapt to a community that everybody's sighted. So if you see a white cane, we do have, I think there's 14 students that use a white cane, and myself, or a service dog that could be a vision dog. Please yield to them if you're driving. That is actually the law. However, I will tell you that if they have their cane like this and they turn their back on you, they're telling you they want you to go, because we teach them to listen to the traffic patterns to know when it's safe for them to cross. So that gives you just a little bit.
Okay. So do we have comments from the audience not on the agenda?
Oh, I'm Bessie.
Oh, I'm sorry. Best Tasting Water in Kansas Award presented. Sorry about that.
That's all right. Mayor and Commission, so I'm Jason Solomon, and I'm with the Kansas Rural Water Association. And on behalf of the association, I'd like to present the city of our city with the best tasting water in Kansas. So this was judged at our conference in March, late March, and we wanted to be sure to get up here and let the folks know who make the water.
I will accept it.
That you'll accept that, and we're very proud of you, and that your water is going to go on to the national competition at this point, and hopefully come back to the best tasting water in the nation in our city. That'll be our city representative. So,
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And utility folks that make this happen.
Sir, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
On when you test that or judge that, what's
There's a panel.
Okay.
And it's taste. It's like, so they don't want to taste chlorine. They want to taste the natural taste of the water. Yeah. So it's up to each judge, so to speak, to what they what they
So how
take.
can we tweak it to win the national thing?
Good question.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
that's what we need is win the national.
Okay, comments from the audience. Greg, you want to come up? Yes.
My name's Greg Shorts. I live at 1018 West Oak. I was just wondering if anybody of the city of Arc City, or even the commission, has any interest in our businesses and improving on them. The one I have an interest is Dillon's store. Our Dillon store was built back in the 70s, I believe, if not earlier. And I don't know if there's any interest or of concerns of seeing whether or not they would come in. There's a nice piece of land just west of Westlake AC, and I was just wondering if they would be interested in developing a new establishment there where we have lost our Walgreens store, which has a beautiful building. And it had a nice drive-through for the pharmacy. And our Dillon store now does not have one. Or do we have a filling station that would accommodate the city of Arc City? And I was just wondering if there was any interest of the commission in seeing about this or putting a committee together and presenting something to them for future building.
I might answer that question. My family's been involved with Dillon since 1950.
Yes, sir.
We built the first store here, and then we continued on and built the store we're in right now. And we sold our interest to an outfit out of New York City, but that's just investors for Dillon's.
Yes.
They have their own development company and stuff, and they're kind of particular about where they build things and what they do.
Sure.
I don't know if being associated with them, for that many years, I just doubt like that,
There would be any interest.
any
I
interest.
know they're building now.
Well, Croker's owns Dillon's now. It used to be Dillon's.
Right.
We used to deal with Jay Dillon, but now it's Croker. So it's a whole different, deal and stuff. I just don't know if they'd be interested or not. I'm just telling you what I think about it.
Yes. And I know, their parking lot is so outdated.
I know.
And it's, everything about the whole situation, which they wouldn't have to close it to even, build where the,
Well, I think what we need is, another grocery store here, and that's what we're kind of working on. There's some prospects could be coming in. I think it's all about competition. I think if somebody else comes in and builds something new, I think then that's going to get their attention.
Yes,
They're a big company, and I think that's what, steer them around about, maybe redoing what they've got or rebuilding or whatever. But it's all about competition. Right now,
Right.
they don't have to worry about that because they're not the only game in town besides Walmart.
Yeah. And, I'm just,
Sure.
if there was any interest in the commission that was, had an interest.
There's always interest,
Oh, yes. But is there anybody that was willing to take it on,
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be the gentleman that we've got working on it already?
I made some notes here. I'll visit with him about reaching out to their development department.
We have an economic development guy we hired out of Tulsa, and that may be something that he can work in, it's going to be something more than what, I don't have the closeness that I once did way back, in the 70s, when we owned that property and stuff. But now, the whole thing's changed, and it's all conglomerate, stuff. But Ricky Hayes may be able to help us. We'll go through him and see what he can do. Well, thank you
Thank
for
you,
your
sir.
input.
Thank you
Thank
for your
you.
time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we're now at the consent agenda.
I make a motion, we approve the consent agenda as written.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second to do the consent agenda as written. That contains the audit and addendum to purchase contract for real estate and the minutes from the last meeting.
And could I ask, what's that property?
That was for the retail development.
Oh, yeah, okay, I'm with you now. All right.
Okay. So any further discussion? All in favor signify with aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. And now we're at other items for consideration.
Consider for approval the City of Arkansas City 2022 Community Development Block Grant Housing Rehabilitation Plan.
So for the community development block grant we received for housing revitalization, there's several plans that we need to do. The first one is it's the housing rehabilitation plan. That's basically the criteria that they use to select the homes and how they go about doing that. And so that's what this first one is. And it's one of the required plans that we have to have. It's kind of a standard boilerplate that
And then consider for approval the City of Arkansas City 2022 Community Development Block Grant Contractor Guidelines.
and that's for the same program. And that's the guidelines that the contractors will have to use that bid on these projects.
Okay,
So what is that to vote on each individual one?
individuals.
Okay.
Commission, do we have any further discussion?
No, we talked about, in our, workstation stuff about, this particular grant and stuff, and I think it's a great thing, so.
This is for the $300,000 grant that we just received, correct, Randy?
Correct.
Yes.
Well, I'll make a motion, we consider the approval of the City of Arkansas City 2022 Community Development Block Grant Housing Rehabilitation Plan.
I will second that.
So we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? This is a voice vote.
No, it's not a roll call.
No, it's voice vote.
So all in favor signify with aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. I want to misread them. Okay,
Since there's no real discussion on item A of that, I would move that we would approve City of Arkansas City 2022 Community Development Block Grant Contractor Guidelines.
I'll second that.
we have a motion and a second to approve the contractor guidelines. Any further discussion?
And Randy, the guidelines is just the contractor, it's just what the contractor does. I mean, it has rules, regulations on what they do.
They'll have to have certain certificates. So certain, they have to have some lead paint training and some different things.
Well, can any of our contractors in town do that stuff? Or
Yeah, so we'll be having a contractors meeting and then also a meeting for the folks in the neighborhood that's eligible for the grant. And in that contractors meeting, we'll invite the area contractors and they can learn what is needed for them to be able to apply or to bid on these projects.
So do they have to go to schooling somewhere to get that, some of that?
Trainings,
Okay.
things, and some of our contractors may already have some of these certificates and stuff, but if they don't, they'll need to obtain them before they can bid on the project.
Okay.
Any further discussion?
Since you described what is the general contractor role and then potentially subcontractors, which is are they equally accountable or is the general contractor accountable for the folks who work?
It would be the general contractor. I think.
Okay, so it would be for the general contractor to hold everyone to the standards.
Correct. And then SCED, South Central Kansas Economic Development District, they also come in and inspect these projects as we go along. And so they handle all the bidding and then they inspect as well. So there's a lot of oversight throughout this whole process.
How soon will this thing start once this thing's passed tonight?
So we need to get these turned in. There's a couple other documents that we'll need the mayor to sign, but it'll probably be she was supposed to have gotten it to me today. There's the notice to release funds, but I didn't receive it today to get it to you guys tonight. So it'll be at the 7th meeting. But as soon as we get that document passed through the commission, then we'll be able to start releasing funds. But but even at that point, we still have applications to get approved and some different things. So I'm hoping by midsummer, maybe we can get our first project approved and get kind of going on it. So.
And Randy, would you tell them again the location that you would live in to be able to apply for it?
Josh, you know it better than I do, but it's Kansas to Colorado.
And then 10th to 15th to that neighborhood. And that. Okay.
Okay. Any further discussion?
And they call that a blight neighborhood, or what's the terminology of that neighborhood, Josh? I mean, what's the?
It's not really blighted. We needed to pick a target area, and we needed one big enough that there would be enough potential projects.
But what's the parameters, the target area? I mean,
yeah. So we're looking for an area that has homes that are not in horrible condition. These are about $25,000 for each home.
Okay.
So if you have homes that are in really tough condition, it's probably not a good area. So we're looking for homes that aren't 2 stories, that are still in pretty good shape, that the $25,000 will help with the curb appeal and seal them up nice. And so.
Do we still have
We have a motion and
do we still have the mobile home?
Park in that area.
There is still.
Do those structures qualify?
Apply for? Okay, so, all right. So traditional built homes in that area, okay.
okay. So we have a motion and a second still. Do we have any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next item.
Just want to point out the financial summaries in the back of your packet, so making sure you take a look at that. We're up there. I need some direction from the commission on the Kansas Department of Wildlife and Parks grant. This grant will expire September 30th of 22. It was originally applied for the splash pad and restrooms at Wilson Park. I received this email. They're kind of wanting to know where we're at on the project status. So I tried to call them back to find out what our options were with this. If there's any other, if we could use this grant for anything besides that. So I guess I need some direction from the commission. Our options are to give it back or to try to find another project or try to follow through with the original project, which we don't have a lot of time here to do that. So
I think you just find out what our options are. That's what I would do.
I suggest too, when we do that, maybe have a work session, on Friday and, roll around then and see what we want to do. Whether, the other thing is, could we use it, because $300,000 is not going to be enough to do the splash pad, at Wilson Park, but can we use it down maybe at the pool? I mean, rehab part or?
No, we wouldn't be able to use it for the rehab part. It's not for maintenance and stuff. It's for new. So I'll keep trying to call and see if I can get a hold of her and get some guidance on this. And then Friday, hopefully by Friday at the work session, we'll have some.
Maybe another thing, and maybe talking to Debbie Davison and see what her idea would be on that 300,000 if it could be saved. If not, then we'll have to turn it back.
And I think it has something to do with, I think the grant originally was for water conservation type projects. So I'm guessing it'll have to be used for water, but I'll get.
What's the
Window of time to spend it?
Huh?
What's the window of time to use it?
The grant expires September 30th of 22. So we have.
Okay, a little over 90 days. And so how long will it take to do an exploration with various departments to come up with something that's feasible?
Do we have
You go ahead.
Once we find the parameter, find out for sure what our parameters are of what we can do with this.
Yeah.
I know at one point there was some conversation about it, being able to use it for a different type of project, but
To get approval.
Just
Yeah, just let us know what the parameters are.
sounds like with a little over 90 days, whatever, if we do come up with a qualifying project, it's going to have to be a rapid fire one. And so I guess that's, you don't want to have a meeting at the end of June.
no, it needs to happen soon.
Okay, anything else?
So the Main Street visioning that South Dakota State University did a few months ago. I'm going to try to do the presentation on the final, their final project that they came up with on the 23rd, this coming Monday. So we're still working out the details. They're finishing up school up there, and there's only there's kind of a window of opportunity for them to present. So that's our goal. And so I'll get some information out to you guys ASAP tomorrow if we get that hammered down for.
Is that going to be a Zoom meeting, or are they going to come in person?
They're going to present it via Zoom, so we should be able to offer a link that you can also view it. And we're going to try to do it at the Burford for in person, along with the Zoom presentation. So we got some logistics there we got to work out. And then the other option we're trying to is maybe have a second presentation, just a total Zoom second presentation, try to give people that participated an option in that so we can get plenty of feedback on it. The pre-construction meeting for the Summit Street Overlay Project will be this Friday at 10 a.m. So we'll work on scheduling with the contractor then, and then the traffic control. That'll be a really, there's a lot of businesses along that road, so traffic control is going to be quite a dance up there to try to keep things.
Well, everyone in this room has already agreed that they will not complain about traffic on Summit while the overlay is happening. Tell your friends and neighbors. No.
Question on that. We're supposed to get the alley behind Sparks Music done at the same time when that's going to happen, or it's going to be right after that?
It'll be later. So we get going. We gotta get this going. Then we gotta get the Madison overlay going, and then once that one's going, then we'll get the alley done. So it'll all be this summer yet, but
before Arkalala.
Okay. So
can I tiptoe back for just a second? Just curious. On the previous grant and water conservation projects, if we were to remit the funds back, say, oh, we didn't use them, do you think that hurts our future chances or credibility?
That was my exact concern.
I can't imagine it helps, but
I'm just thinking that makes us look a little knee-jerk, you shoot from the hip-ish about the first one, as opposed to having something and saying we're going forward with that.
Now, as a community, we do have a track record for numerous of those grants. We have to do reporting every year that we're taking care of them. So there's probably 4 or 5 of these projects throughout the community that we've done in the past years. So.
Well, as soon as you get the parameters, we'll know what we can do.
Yeah, if it has to be completed though, like Commissioner Jennings said, it has to be completed by then. If that's in the parameters, and doesn't leave us many options.
Yeah.
And you just don't want to have
one other question.
Black marks, so to speak.
When's that supposed to?
That'll again be later in the summer. There's the plans have been submitted to KDOT and they're under review, so we're waiting for that to get back. So
all the funding, everything's done on that. All we got to do is wait for KDOT and we're ready to start. We have to go out and get a contractor for that, or?
Yeah, so that one I should know, but I don't. I'm not sure if KDOT bids that one out or if we do that. But yeah, once they get the plans approved, then that process will get started. So.
Okay. Anything else?
Yep. I do.
Okay.
I got one other question.
The state passed some quite a bit of housing dollars this year in the budget, and so we got some housing webinars on how the money can be used, and also staff has some meetings with some different developers that are doing some different things. So we're rattling the bushes for housing options, trying to find, things that maybe fit with our community. Of course, everybody else's too, but just wanted you to know that we're rattling the cages on that. And then the last thing I have is I got the finalized version of the work plan that you guys worked on.
Thank you.
Weeks ago.
Thank you, sir.
And maybe give you a couple weeks to make sure that we were everybody was on the same page with. Maybe we can talk about it at a work session in a couple weeks. And that's it.
Okay.
My wastewater plant, how are we doing on that?
Yeah, the administration building is coming along pretty well. They were going to start moving in this week. They're going to start cleaning out one of the digesters, and I didn't get out there today to see what's going on, but they have a bladder they're setting up out there, and they'll clean out one of the digesters for that and get that going. They've done some demolition on one of the trickling filters, got that cleaned up. They've done some concrete work for blower pads, and so things are moving. Yeah.
Okay.
I have one go fish question. You like fishing?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. A few months back, I came across a document that talked about a grant for weatherization of homes. I honestly can't remember what the source was for that. I don't know if I just made that up with a wild dream, or do we have any kind of information, intel about that where you could refer people? Is it still active?
It is. SCAD, so SCAD is administering our housing grant. They also do weatherization grants. And the weatherization money that they have is also some of the dollars that we're using as our local match for that grant. So along with the CBDG money, they'll try to work in some weatherization dollars into those projects as well to offset what would be our local match. So, and again, those dollars would be weatherization dollars should be available for other parts of the community too, not just that targeted section. So we can steer people that direction to them.
Okay, so who would I direct folks to?
Yeah, so I'll get the actual contact name for you, but it's the South Central Kansas Economic Development District, and they have a person that's over the weatherization program, and so I can forward it to you.
Thank you.
Anything further to come before the commission?
Make motion to adjourn.
Second.
Lots of sense. Any further discussion about it? All in favor signify with aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. We're done.
It's your copy.
All right,
I give you in the morning too.
Have a good evening.
Hey, Mike.
Official pen. I work on keep my official pen. It's trained on how to spell my name.